how did coaching with horses for polo players mind appear in your life?
Well, for me, one of my really good friends, Fatih Balisano, who you know very well, did coaching, and I mean, before I did it, I wasn't sure. I never kind of believed in these coaching type sessions in a way that it could really, really help. I was a bit skeptical at first, but afterwards I saw such a big change in just kind of my attitude towards not just polo, but just to general life and to other people. And I was so much more open-minded about things. I mean, it's just a way to kind of, for me, to feel more confident within yourself, whether it's about the sport or whether it's about friendship, your family, whatever. Because I actually went into my games after the session not as nervous as I think I could have been. Like, I slept the night before the final, whereas I don't think if I'd done the session, I probably would have been waking up in and out of the night, being really, really paranoid, really worried. So I think it made a huge difference for me.
Wow, great. And maybe, were the horses the same as you saw them? You have been around horses ever since, and you've done so many different activities with the horses, playing polo, dressage, jumping, being around horses. What would you say the difference is when you go into a corral where the horses are just loose? This is just to give explanation. The horses are going to be loose. You're just going to have a borsal around them, and we're going to identify the horses with the color of the borsal.
Mm-hmm.
Feel something different? Was it the same? What happened there?
Well, normally when I go into a field or a corral to get my horses or just to feed them or to go and see them, I don't think that deeply about what I'm doing, if that makes sense. Like, I kind of just go in and get them or pat them or brush them, whatever I'm doing. Whereas in this session, it was a lot more like thinking about how they're responding to me, how I'm approaching them. Like, a few were a bit more anxious around me, a few a bit more nervous, and I think that's what helped show me, I mean, through you explaining it to me, how someone's emotions and feelings can be seen through the horses. But I never really thought about that before. I just thought maybe one of my horses is having an off day, and it wasn't necessarily through me.
Great. And sometimes what we say is, when you're with horses and you who ride and you're trying so many horses and playing with rented horses and with your own, and when you're in leadership of the horse, when you're riding, which we're not doing, when we do coaching, nobody gets on a horse, but when you're riding and you're playing polo and when you're leader of what's going on, and especially when you're on a horse, the horse will reply to you.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's very, I mean, I've been lucky that I haven't had many horses that haven't replied to me or kind of done what I've asked. But you definitely see a huge difference riding younger horses, obviously, because they don't necessarily know what they're doing and they look to you a lot more for support and a lot more for guidance. But no, I definitely noticed that a lot with coaching, like stepping up and being the leader. They follow you more naturally than if you're more timid and shy and not really sure what's to do.
So what you're saying is basically it's the same with your emotions. When you're timid and shy and scared, well, what's going to happen? How can I organize myself? How can I manage all this? And suddenly you get the feedback of the horse, and then you learn that you can have your leadership, your coherence, your confidence. And those three things are the three things that horses need for you to communicate. Yeah. So when we did the session, it was amazing because it was like when Milly came in, sort of like, hey, blah, 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 with the horses doing these things. And then when you left, it was like seeing Milly sort of like really empowered of herself and going into the polo, and then you played the final. It was amazing. You played them. You should see that again and again and again, because the way you played that final was absolutely outstanding.
Thank you very much. I've only watched it back once, and I've been trying to find the video for a while, but it was just amazing.
I can get it for you. I will.
Oh, great.
I can for you. Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
So, would you recommend this coaching with horses for somebody else?
100%. I think even for people who aren't involved in polo or involved in a horse-related sport, it's something that can help everyone. Like, I have a friend who did it for family reasons, for a relationship that she wasn't so close with one of her family members, and she said it had an incredible experience, like result for her, and she noticed almost straight away as soon as she left the session that her mindset, the approach towards her family members and her friends had completely changed. So I think it's a really important thing, even if you don't feel like you necessarily need it. Sometimes, like, I remember when I first went into the session, I didn't feel stressed necessarily, and I didn't feel that anxious or anything. But suddenly just being there, I remember I burst into tears about something, and it was just a really, really emotional thing that I didn't realize I had all these emotions caught up inside me. You might not remember, but I just flooded with tears.
Yes, I remember. And just one question. Do the horses come back recurrently? Do they come back sometimes when you're thinking sort of like, yeah, oh, suddenly you get the feedback of, oh, yeah, but I did that with a horse, or this session we had. Does it come back to you?
Yeah, especially when I'm thinking about things that might be linked to conversations that we had during the session, or the way I might have interacted with the horses. And often it will come up and go, oh, this is the way I was advised, or this is the way that through the session I should handle this situation, or this is the way I should apologize from the left side because it's closest to the heart, and things like that really have kept with me all since the session.
Great. So I think one of the good things about working with horses at they reflect your emotions, and then once you're in leadership of your emotions and you find your motivation and you find that you can go through, it's something you do once and then you can come back and do as many as you want, but it's your freedom to do it.
Yeah.
And it keeps on ticking and ticking and ticking over.
Yeah, and no, like you said, I think it's a great opportunity to keep, like you said, ticking over and doing a session every month, every couple of months, or just when you feel like you need it, just to keep on top of things. It's like, not that it's an injury, but it's like managing an injury, managing your emotions, just keep ticking it over, keep letting them out, because I think it's really important to have an outlet of your emotions as someone that you feel comfortable with the horses, that doesn't let you hold it all up and boil up inside you, because it's quite difficult to let things out.
Yeah, it is. And also there's another very important like issue is that when you're with the horses, you're happy. So it's true. You just go next to the horse and you're really happy, whoever you are in the world.
Yeah.
If next to the horses, your endorphins go really up. So you're learning about yourself through the horse, who doesn't judge, who doesn't lie to you. He can't lie to you. He's just interpreting you. And then your endorphins are high. So it's a very natural way of learning about yourself. So Milly, would you do teamwork with coaching? Would you like to do that once?
Yeah, I would love to, especially before we played the final of the Open, we actually went to see a sports psychologist in Buenos Aires, in the city, who did probably a similar thing to coaching, but just explained to us the more physical side of working as a team, and how like you each affect each other, and how it's really important to stay in the present. But I think also we didn't have the opportunity, sadly, with enough time, but to do a coaching session would really, really benefit a team as well, because it's like when you play together and someone's not playing so well, or they make a mistake, naturally, I mean, I don't know about other people, but naturally, depending who the person is, people may get frustrated at that person and get angry with them and shout, why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? When actually that's not going to help them at all. The person's already feeling bad that they've made a mistake or they're not playing well, that all the added pressure and shouting just makes them feel less confident. They play even worse. So I think a session, especially for a team, would really help them build the confidence as a team and work as a team rather than individually.
Yeah, it's true, and it's an amazing opportunity to, when you work with teams through the horses, it's amazing to see yourself as part of the team and with all your virtues, and also with those things you say, oh my God, did I do that? Oh yes. I mean, sort of like, oh yeah. And then as a team, you find all these amazing opportunities to be the best team you can be.
No, 100%. I mean, any help you can give yourself, any assistance just to get there and make the team as best they can be, I think would be really helpful.